bitty design is not too expensive and it holds up great both on the inside and on the outside of the body. In this case I was forced to mask the outside of the body as well. Serieus. Doppie en Magneto. Stoppen. Even normaal hè. Thank you for watching. This is part 2 of a video series, a tiny video series in which I'm going to try and replicate the Hoonicorn paint job. That one was used in the GYMKHANA7 video, which you see Ken Block driving Ford Mustang around LA, doing all sorts of cool drifting. Super cool video, I'm pretty sure you've seen it if you are a gearhead like I am. The main part of the body is sitting over here. This one is currently masked on the inside. 4 coats of liquid mask. Why is it pink? Are you going to paint it pink? No, I'm not. That's just the color of the liquid mask. I'm still working away on this, so I'm not going to focus on this part in this video. I'm not going to focus on the back either. The only part I'm going to focus on is the front. The liquid mask, this type of liquid mask, I have never worked with it. Last time I used a sign strip. Got that from my buddy Keith. He was kind enough to send that to me from, I believe, Airbrush, West Coast Airbrush, Coast Airbrush. Don't fully remember the name. I will see if I can find it, put a link in the description box. But right now I'm using this pink stuff. It has the unfortunate name Bitty Design. I'm not sure if you ever watched a comedy series called Little Britain. But if you have, then the word bitty will ring a whole different bell for you as well than it probably should. It stinks, it's really smelly. I'm not sure what it smells like. It's this gooey, icky smell that I've been submerged in for a few days right now. It's basically like you're painting with yogurt. But if you take your time and you put on even coats, then you end up with a really nice cuttable layer of liquid mask. I have no idea how it will hold up while I'm actually painting. Could be that I completely mess it up and that I have a quite unique body shell because these are no longer made that I can just toss in the bin, but we will see. If so, tough luck. I've already cut all the logos on the inside of the front bumper. I've also cut out the headlights. But there's so much going on with this front bumper that I just want to dedicate its own separate video to it. Plus it will be a nice test case for me to see if the liquid mask holds up and if I can invest more time in it in the main section of the body and in the back, so I can have a tiny bit of a result already. So for me, also to pick my colors, this will be a good little test case. I'm looking to see if I can find the cut off. This bumper originally was a bit taller, so this part sat in the bottom like so. I decided to cut that off because I felt it was way too high. The car was sitting way too high on the chassis as well. So I cut off the entire body, and the part that I cut off from the front bumper, I'm going to flip this around and eventually use that in the lower part on the plastic front bumper that is mounted to the chassis. Other than that, I have cut out all of these circles in the grille. Did that with a new, fresh, sharp body reamer. It needs to be sharp, otherwise you won't be able to do this. Kind of to get that look of the Hoonicorn. Also has like a really rough, drilled out grill going on. So I wanted to have that same look, and I also chose to take out these indicators. I believe these were the indicators and these were fog lights. I just turned them into cooling openings, and I made a slot in the lower part of the bumper through which I can slide this styrene radiator. I will paint this up like a radiator so you don't see the die-cast engine when you look through the grille from the front, and you won't see the alternator, stuff like that. So this is a nice opportunity to combine some of the skills that I've learned over the past year. I've learned how to work with styrene, how to glue it together, how to make my own pieces using the stuff, and I think this is a nice test case to throw all those things together and see if I can get a more detailed result. I will leave the headlights clear. I got some Losi 5 light pods over here. I'm going to cut these in half, paint the inside silver, and I'm going to use those behind the shell afterwards. Glue them in, put a LED in there just to get a tiny bit more realism. But for now, the main part that I'm going to focus on is paint. I'm going to paint the inside first. Afterwards, there is a lot of detail work also that I need to cut out on the outside of the shell. There's a lot of parts that need to be filled in with a flat clear to get that real GYMKHANA7, that Hoonicorn type of look. There's also a lot of flat and a lot of clear going on in that car. So I just want to see if I can get the result that I'm after, and for me there's no better way to give it a try than to start out with the front. So far so good. Make sure to break your paint job down in bits that are easy to comprehend. It's also what I did. For example, I did all of the cut work before I put on the liquid mask on the outside, just because it's a tiny bit easier to see through and to see what you've actually peeled or cut. So choose the easiest way. And in this case, also with the body consisting of 3 pieces, there is no shame in doing one piece at a time. Otherwise you might go completely loopy. I had a mad headache yesterday just because I wanted to keep track of absolutely everything. And it's way easier just to start off with one bit, see how it turns out, also determine your steps for the rest of the body shell, and just make it as easy as possible to keep track of what you need to do and what you have already done. This body, I needed to put a liquid mask over the outside simply because there was no clear overspray film on it. So I was forced into that direction. This is a first for me. I have no idea how it will turn out. So far I'm quite happy with it. The main thing that I need to do right now is I need to determine which parts of the outside need to be glossy and which parts I actually need to dull down with a flat clear. The flat clear, I'm going to peel that. I'm going to give that a coat of that Tamiya, a PS55 is what I use to dull the parts down. And afterwards I'm going to peel off the rest and hopefully have some sort of a good result. The reflectors, the headlights, I want to sort of scar those up with my blade. I have some pictures laying around of Mustang headlights from the era. I want to replicate those as close as I can, just to make sure that those headlights appear a tiny bit realistic. A general misunderstanding is that if you are into large-scale cars, you can't work into great detail. But I think that the opposite is true. You can, it doesn't matter what scale of car you run or what you like to work on, you can put as much detail as you want into any scale, whether that's 12 scale or 16 scale, 10 scale or even 5th scale, no problem. All in all, this was a nice little test case. I know that the masking holds up. Again, bitty design is what I used in this case. Works great, it's not too expensive, and holds up well on both. Cats going ballistic here if you hear them hissing. Hi, kut nou eens even op! Doppie! In this case it held up great, both on the inside and on the outside of the body. And I was forced to use it on the outside of the body as well, because there was no clear overspray film on this shell. Which turned out to be okay, because actually cutting the liquid mask is way easier than cutting through the clear overspray film and trying to get detail into that. So if you can, just use it on the outside as well. Just remember to peel first on the inside, make sure to follow through with all of your cuts before you start masking up the outside, because otherwise you have no transparency and you can't really see what you're doing. So that would be a tip from me to you, but perhaps you have other ideas about it. This was really cool to combine a few different things, combining the styrene, putting some Losi light pods in there. I even scored the reflectors of the headlights. That's a trick that I learned on the SBG, the Scale Builders Guild. go check out that forum. It's really good for all of your super scale needs. Super scaling can also be done on large scale cars, no problem whatsoever. So just feel free to go try some stuff. I think the most important part always with paint is to stay patient. Don't rush through things. Just really take your time and make sure to double check all of your steps before you go ahead and bring out the cans or your airbrush, whatever you prefer. It doesn't have to be perfect. As long as you have a personalized paint job, a personalized car, that's all that matters. And make sure that you have fun in the process, because that's what it's all about. If you want to be a tiny bit ahead of what I'm doing here, you can check out my Instagram and you can check out my Facebook. Links are in the description box. If you have any questions, because I know that I always skip a few steps because I don't find them interesting or they're really hard to film. But let me know in the comments box, and I will try to do something with any suggestions that are being made over there. And if you enjoyed the video, don't forget to hit the like button. If you haven't subscribed yet, just hit that button. It doesn't cost anything, won't cost anything in the future. And I will make sure to keep this YouTube channel updated regularly, at least one video a week. Thanks so much for watching. See you around. Bye bye.